Hello, 8th graders. Today we are doing Module 4, the problem set for Lesson 20. And we are going to be taking graphs and writing the equations for them in slope-intercept form, and then taking slope-intercept form and converting it into standard form. So let's do a review. Remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So we need to find m, which is our slope, and b, which is our y-intercept. Going back to getting slope from a graph, we need to pick 2 points. So I'm going to pick this point because it's on an intersection and this point. To find the slope, I'm going to draw the right angle, my rise over my run. My rise is going down 2, and my run is going over 3. So m is going to be a negative 2/3. And for b, I have to figure out where it crosses the y-axis, and that would be here. And so b equals -4. So I can go back and put m in there and b in there. So I'm going to end up with y equals a -2/3 x minus 4. So this is the equation of this line in slope-intercept form. In order to get it into standard form, we have to move the x to be over with the y. So we have y equals a negative 2/3 x minus 4. This is a -2/3, so I'm going to add 2/3 x to both sides. So I'm going to get 2/3 x plus y equals -4. Now, they don't want us to have this to be a fraction, so let's multiply everything by 3. Multiply everything by 3. 3 over 1, we're going to get 6 over 3, which is 2x plus 3y equals -12. Let's go on to number 2. Once again, y equals mx plus b, so let's find our slope. I'm going to pick 2 points. I'm going to pick, this is at an intersection, and this is at an intersection. So let's do our rise over our run. Our rise is positive because we're going up, and our run. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 over 1. So our m equals 8 over 1, or just 8. And b is where it crosses the y-axis, so b equals 1. So our equation is y equals mx plus b. M is 8. Y equals 8x, and b is 1 plus 1. Now to get this into standard form, we got to move our x's over by our y's. So this is a positive 8x, so I'm going to subtract 8x from both sides. So we have -8x plus y equals 1. Now we do not want this to be negative. See, a is not negative. So I can take everything and multiply it or divide it. Let's divide it by a -1. A negative divided by a negative is a positive 8x. A positive divided by a negative is a -y. and a positive divided by a negative is a -1. So these are our two answers. Let's go on to number 3. Let's find, we have to find our slope and our y-intercept first. So let's pick 2 points. I'm going to pick this point and this point. So my rise is going to be 1 and my run is going to be 2. So m is going to equal 1 over 2. And b is going to equal -4. So we can go back over here and y equals m, which is 1/2 x, and then -4 is b minus 4. I should put b equals here. So now we got to change this into standard form. First thing I'm going to do is subtract 1/2 x from both sides. And I get a -1/2 x plus y equals a -4. Now I need to get this into a, get this out of a fraction into a whole number. So I'm going to actually multiply everything by our denominator, but I'm also going to multiply everything by a -2 times a -2 times this by a -2 times this by a -2. So we're going to get a -2 over 2, which a negative times a negative is a positive. 2 over 2 is 1. So 1x, or just x, plus a -2 times y is, is a -2y, so it's going to be -2y equals -4 times a -2 is a +8. And 4, once again, we got to find our slope and our y-intercept. I'm going to choose this point and this point. Do our rise over our run. Our rise is negative because we're going down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. -9 over 1. So m equals a -9 over 1, which would be a -9. And b would be right here. B would be -8. So then we're going to write our equation. Y equals mx. What's m? -9 and -8. Now let's change this into standard form. We're going to add 9x to both sides. And we have 9x plus y equals -8. And we are in standard form. Let's go on to number 5. Once again, we need to find our slope and our y-intercept, our m and our b. So I'm going to pick 2 points. I'm going to pick this point and this point. So our rise is, notice this is counting by 2. So our rise is 10, 4, because it's counting by 2, 2, 4. And our run is 2. So m equals 4 over 2, which is the same as 2. And our b is going to be -14. So we're going to have y equals mx. Our m is 2. And -14 is our b. To change this into standard form, this is a positive 2x, sorry. I got to subtract 2x from both sides. So we have a negative 2x plus y equals a negative 14. They do not want us to have a negative a. They don't want this x coefficient to be negative. So let's just divide everything by negative 1. And also multiply by negative 1. You're going to get the same. A negative divided by a negative is a positive 2x. Positive divided by a negative is a negative y. And a negative divided by a negative is a positive. And our last problem for today, same thing. Do notice that they're counting by 5s here. So let's pick 2 points. I'm going to pick this point and this point. Do my rise over my run. My rise is going down, so it's negative 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And my run is 5. So m is a negative 25 divided by 5, which is going to be a negative 5. And my b is going to be 45. So we write our equation. Y equals mx plus b. Y equals a negative 5x plus 45. That slope-intercept form to get this into standard form. I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to, because this is negative, I'm going to add 5x to both sides. These cancel, and I get 5x plus y equals 45. There you go. Have a good day.